midnight meeting that went through many late hours of the night, the BJP is reported to have readied more than 100 candidates for the Lok Sabha elections. The meeting was chaired by Prime Minister Modi, effectively declaring elections 2024 open. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. After this midnight meeting, the Prime Minister left for Jharkhand and Bengal, where he'll be taking on Mamta Banerjee on her turf in the middle of the Sandesh Khali storm. In the midst of all of this, and as the Congress firefights the crisis in Himachal Pradesh, Rahul Gandhi is away at Cambridge University, scheduled to speak at his old college. This decision to be away at this time has been criticized even by those who support the Congress. As we look at the BJP sounding the poll bugle, we ask whether election 2024 is already a done deal. Let's introduce our guests on the program today. Welcoming on the program Shehzaad Poonawala, National Spokesperson of the BJP and BJP leader. It's good to have you back with us, Shehzaad, after a long gap. And also joining us is Salman, Senior Leader and Spokesperson of the Congress Party. We hope to have Yashwant Deshmukh with us in a moment from now. Let's get the ball rolling right away, Shehzaad. The fact is that the Prime Minister, displaying once again a 24/7 politician that he is, we have news that even as early as later today, the BJP could release 100 to 155 candidates, after which the Prime Minister has left for Bengal and Jharkhand. Do you believe that election 2024 is a done deal? And I want you to say this not wearing your party hat, but wearing a political analyst hat. Shehzaad Poonawala, go ahead.
First of all, thank you, Barkha. It's a pleasure being back on your show. And I'm extremely happy to be with my good friend Salman, because I always consider Salman to be more credible than Raghuram Rajan when it comes to economy. And I remember Raghuram saying that we won't cross 5% GDP growth rate. And today, Salman, who has worked in World Bank, will tell Raghuram that we have just done 8.4 in quarter 3 of 23-24. So, I'm always happy to debate economics and policy with somebody who understands it rather than somebody who projects it. He understands it. Now, let's come to the Prime Minister. Barkha, speaking on a personal note, the Prime Minister has an unbelievable work ethic. I was there last evening in the party office. The Prime Minister obviously was attending to national duties, and after that, he reached the party office at 10:30. And there was state after state that was having conversations. We have a very institutionalized, structured system where the party tickets are decided. It's not a one-man or a one-parivar decision, as you know. I mean, you've seen Samajwadi announce their tickets. You don't know how it was announced. There's no system. Even I was consulted on certain seats where I have a role to play. So this is a democratic, decentralized process that ultimately culminates into the party office, where a discussion is held over hours. Prime Minister left at 3:30, 3:45 a.m. The party president left after that. And the Prime Minister, believe it, got up even earlier than I could. And he was off to Jharkhand inaugurating national projects. And then he'll be off to Arambagh in Bengal and inaugurating more projects there. So this is the performance, and it is the delivery that Prime Minister Modi focuses on. And we don't take elections as some kind of event in 5 years. Barkha, we think elections are the most pious festival in a democracy, and therefore we are always in preparation of that festival. In a good like my mother would always keep preparing for a festival. Some things would be done in the house much earlier, and the preparations would begin. So just like that, taking inspiration from many crores of women who prepare their house for the upcoming festivals, we also prepare our house constantly, whether it is seeing whether our schemes are delivering on the ground, whether it is ensuring that the best candidates are put forward, or whether it is ensuring that our message is communicated right up to the last beneficiary. And therefore, our message this election is twofold: Ram Lalla and Gita. Now, Barkha, before secular Wadis start blowing their ears out, let me explain what Ram Lalla and Gita is. Ram Lalla means R for Rashtriya Suraksha, A for Arthvyavastha, M for Mahila, L for Labharti, L for Leadership, A for Atmanirbhar Bharat, and Gita means G for Growth, I for Infrastructure, T for Technology, and A for Atmanirbhar Bharat being taken forward in areas that we've never seen before, like defense being 16,000 crores exports. So this Ram Lalla and Gita, we are sure is going to bless us so much that we are going to break all the records. And even Khadge ji is now constrained to say, "Ab ki baar 400 par."
Okay, briefly before I take it to your good friend Salman, and it's nice to see you actually have something nice to say about an opponent from your former party.
Salman is
Uh,
a great person, is a very nice person, and we spar on debates. But Salman is a good friend of mine. I at least consider him to be.
and I'm sure the feeling is reciprocated. I have one question which may irritate, the answer to which may irritate Salman just a bit after that convivial opening. Rahul Gandhi is away at Cambridge University at this point. I know that's not strictly the BJP's business, but do you have anything to say on that before I open this up? I also see Yashwant with us. Welcome to the program, Yashwant. And Shehzaad, go ahead.
No, Barkha, actually, you see, in the field of democratic politics, we are all entitled to use and utilize our time. We are very much involved in appealing to our voters, to the voters that we think are important for us, who are going to help us in 400 par for NDA. Rahul Gandhi is also working towards the considerations of what he thinks is going to benefit him politically. So, हमारी जैसे राम संस्कृति में आस्था है, कुछ की रोम संस्कृति में है, तो जिनकी रोम संस्कृति में वो वैटिकन जाएंगे, हम राम संस्कृति हम अयोध्या जाएंगे, हम काशी अयोध्या वाले हैं, जो वैटिकन और कैम्ब्रिज वाले वो वहां जाएं, तो देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम, जिसकी जहां
Why
भावना,
Vatican?
जिसकी
Cambridge
जहां
is not the same.
मानसिकता.
I do have to push back there. Cambridge is not Vatican. That's a religious statement that you're making, Shehzad. Why? Briefly.
No, I am just saying that from the perspective of मेरी आस्था, my धार्मिक आस्था और my राजनीतिक आस्था. My Rajnatik Astha is that I'll go to the kutia of a Garib Mahila and ask her, have you got the Ujjwala cylinder? She'll tell me yes. I'll ask her, Pakka Ghar Bana? She'll tell me yes. I'll ask Sultana Shilpa, Dono ko toilet mila? She'll say yes. Rahul ji goes to Cambridge because he wants to ask the audience there about what he thinks is the issues of India. So it's perfectly fine. I will go to the Mahila. He can go to the Cambridge University. It's a very prestigious university.
Okay, lots of sarcasm there, packaged
No, not at all. Not at
with the genuine friendliness. Salman, are you going to return the compliment first before you try and put the knife in? Salman Soz, do go ahead.
No. Shehzad and I go back a long way, and of course, he was a ferocious supporter of our party, and spoke constantly against Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah. I mean, I don't think many in Congress were as ferocious about attacking the RSS and the BJP as Shehzad was. So, but I don't know, maybe he found greener pastures on the other side, which is okay. He's a good young man and he has a career ahead of him. But, not everything is about a career. Some things are beyond our own individual careers, I think. I know Raghuram Rajan well, and we should all be proud of his accomplishments. He's an amazing Indian, globally recognized. And by the way, even for the growth numbers that Shehzad talks about, there are serious questions being asked inside the country about the difference between gross value added and the GDP numbers. I don't want to get into the technicalities, but let me just say this. Before COVID,
are you questioning the 8.4 Q3 numbers? Are you questioning their authenticity right now?
No, these numbers are bogus numbers. Okay, these numbers are bogus numbers. But we want these numbers to be good and solid. There is no question about that, because a lot of people in India, hundreds of millions of people, depend on this. Mind you, our global hunger index ranking is about 111 out of 125 countries. That means there's something seriously wrong in the country when you have 80 crore people getting free food. So there are some serious issues. I don't want to get into the technicality of the numbers, but mind you, that before COVID, the economy was tanking. The last GDP growth rate that we had was around 3% or something, if you remember. What has happened just after that is COVID destruction, basically, not just in India, around the world. And then now the government is coming up with all sorts of data, which is okay, they can. But people on the ground know what's going on. What is going on in this country?
You've raised a point about the GDP, and I'm sure Shehzad will respond. But can you please respond to my political question? My political question is twofold. Why is Mr. Gandhi away at this time? I actually, unlike Shehzad, it doesn't matter to me whether he's away in Cambridge or if he's away in Coimbatore on a holiday. My question simply is, why is he away? What does that signal to his party, to his cadre? Question one. Question two, are you fighting this election for the next round and not for this one? Has the Congress somewhere decided that 224 is not a game you're playing?
Barkha, these people are not coming back, okay? These people are not coming back. I know Yashwant will disagree because his survey says something else, the mood of the nation and other things. These people are not coming back right now as we see it. Now, as far as Mr. Rahul Gandhi is concerned, of course, he's one of our senior, most people, former president, but he has his own way of doing politics. And you know what? His politics seems to be effective because we are talking about him. But mind you, we have a Congress president who is an elected, not a selected president, elected president, who beat my candidate, and he's running the show. He has a full organization with him. They're working behind the scenes. You may not see them, anywhere, but on cameras and other things. But a lot of things are happening behind the scenes. A lot of alliances have been stitched already, as you may have seen. Some others are being stitched as we speak, and soon our candidates will be declared. And I'm happy to tell you that from what we are seeing, the enthusiasm for our own leaders and the leaders of the India Alliance, whether it is in Bihar, whether it is in Jharkhand, whether it is in Maharashtra, whether it is in UP, those are the areas that we were not supposed to be doing
because
well.
I want to go to Yashwant. I'm interrupting you, and I know Shehzaad will have something to say on your question on the GDP figures, but just a brief point. You don't notice the contrast in optics that the Prime Minister chairs an election party meeting at midnight through the wee hours of the morning, goes to Jharkhand, goes to Bengal, and Rahul Gandhi is away in Cambridge. I mean, do you really, wearing just a commonsensical hat on, not see the contrast in these optics?
No, but I've actually written about the Prime Minister and his whole governance by optics. People are now tired of this 10 years of sloganeering, jumlabazi, abbreviations, and I work 18 hours a day as if nobody else works in the world. The people at the ground level feel unemployment. They feel inflation. They feel, a lack of opportunity. They feel kind of the injustices. I mean, just see what happens when a kid is killed and then basically, cremated. I mean, there's so much happening in this country. But what we see, what people like us see, is what we, the kinds of discussions we have. That we can have these discussions, but the ground level situation is very different from what we are hearing.
Hold on.
Maybe what we're hearing is wrong, but what I feel, let me just finish. What I feel is that the conventional wisdom of these guys are not going to get anything in UP, they're not getting anything in Bihar, they're not getting anything in Jharkhand, in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, etc. I think that is the wisdom that basically defeated BJP in 2004, and this is happening again this time.
So you're hoping for another India shining a sort of moment, and
I'm not hoping. No. Hope is not a strategy. I'm not hoping. It is going to happen. These people are not coming back.
Okay, we'll see. Maybe anything can happen in a great democracy. We'll see. My question was to Shehzaad briefly, and Yashwant. Sorry, I'll come to you right after that. Actually, Yashwant Deshmukh surveys that the most recent one being the mood of the nation with India today, while they project a 335 scorecard for the NDA, a 304 for the BJP, also find that unemployment and inflation are top of the mind issues, Shehzaad, Poonawala, for most voters. So while the GDP numbers are impressive, and I'm not a trained economist, unlike Salman, the point is that survey after survey, the same surveys that give your team a handsome win also say that unemployment and inflation are genuine concerns. You have the farmers, on the streets. You have ministers negotiating with them, but also Haryana police talking about scrapping and impounding their passports. So there are some paradoxes here, would you not acknowledge? Shehzaad, Poonawala. Let me just unmute you. Give me a second. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The answer to of Yashwant Deshmukh only. By the way, Yashwant is a self-proclaimed conservative pollster. There are other polls on which I was, where the number was beyond 370, but taking Yashwantji's data on record, Yashwantji has explained this point very beautifully. I think I was, fortunate to be on that same panel. He said that while these are issues, the voter also thinks that who is the only person or alternative to actually give me relief from these issues. And this is confirmed not just by Yashwant's data. You see the last round of state assembly elections. There were two governments that Congress had, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. One government, we had Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh had lowest unemployment in those states, 2%. Highest unemployment in those states was in Rajasthan, 20%. Highest inflation was in Rajasthan, 8 to 9 to 10%. And lowest inflation was in states governed by the BJP. And therefore, BJP, after 18 years, returned to power and also took them out of power from from Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. Whereas they haven't been able to deliver on precisely this. And on unemployment and inflation, let me also tell you, Barkha, you were very prominently covering the UPA era. You know, it was 10 to 12, 2010 to 2012 was double digit inflation. It was runaway inflation. Today, despite two and a half challenges, I say two and a half challenges: COVID challenge, Ukraine-Russia challenge, and half challenge between Israel-Palestine. Despite these challenges, you have a situation of 5.5%. Whereas the last time you heard, Barkha, the wholesale price index was in negative. Consumer price index is at 5.5% on an average, but even the wholesale index is at negative. So this shows that we have been able to control the issue of inflation very, very resolutely. And now let me just address 15 seconds for my dear friend Salman's point. Salman, you're absolutely right. I ferociously attacked the BJP when I was on your side, like you're doing today, like you are forced to do today. Even I was forced to do that. But look at the difference of approach. Prime Minister Modi is so tolerant that he sees talent in me and he was ready to accept that I attacked him in the past. And Acharya is on your side. One Hindu Acharya is on your side. He never abuses first family. He only praises first family. He only says, don't abuse my Hindu religion. And there you kicked him out of the party. This is the difference. Who is democratic and who is so intolerant that परिवार के खिलाफ कुछ बोला तो गुस्ताखी माफ नहीं होगी, सरतन से means politically सरतन से जुदा होगा. You even kicked out Acharya from your party, sir.
Okay, we're talking, of course, about Acharya Pramod Krishnan, who's recently shared the stage with Prime Minister Modi. Let me bring in Yashwant now. I think that last point is an important point, Yashwant. I remember you and I were also talking about it, that yes, unemployment and inflation are top of the mind issues, along with Ram Mandir and India's improved place in the world. These are four things you found in that Mood of the Nation survey that Sea Voter did with India Today. But this problem having been identified, the solution giver is also seen to be the incumbent government. Today, you have the GDP figures expanded for Q3. Salman calls them bogus. But I will return to the political optics. The Prime Minister has effectively declared the election open before the dates have been announced. 100 to 155 candidates could be announced in the next few hours. Rahul Gandhi is away. I mean, I see this as the, जैसे कहते हैं ना, मोटी मोटी बात करो. This is the मोटी मोटी बात. Yashwant?
Well, absolutely. And you know what, when I'm listening to both my friends, I find that my numbers are actually doing, I mean, they are reading points made which are being made so passionately by both of them. You know, on the problems and the issues, my numbers are echoing what Salman is saying. But on the alternatives and the trustworthiness of the narrative, they are echoing what Shehzaad is saying. So basically, when I look into these things, I also going beyond the emotional thing and economy, of course. I mean, these are the numbers. Again, Salman is an economist. He can answer that better. But I was looking at the baselines. I'm talking about real politics. Why, Mr. Gandhi being in Cambridge and Mr. Modi doing an overnight assessment of which, candidates to pick up, Yes, they do underline the new baseline of electoral politics of India. Barkha. And when I say the new baseline, I cannot help but look into the vote shares of these two parties and go back to 1999 and 2004, because Salman mentioned 2004, and I was kind of intrigued by that baseline. Because Salman, what happened was that in the 99, the precursor of 2004 elections, even though Mr. Atalji became the prime minister, Congress actually polled 4% more votes than the BJP. The scorecard was 28% for the Congress and 24% for the BJP. That was the baseline for the Congress to build on. Even though in 2004, the vote share of the Congress was almost the same. BJP's vote share dropped down by 2%, but vote share of the Congress remained the same. But it was the alliance and the knitting of the alliance which, pulled them upwards. But the problem, Salman, is that baseline, the comparison that the Congress was all India vote share 4% ahead of the BJP, that changed between 2019 and 2024. 2019, the Congress dropped below 20% and BJP shot to 37%, which in our MOTN, right now it is 20% and 40%. I'm giving you the ballpark. So basically from the lead of 4%, Congress is now deficit of almost 20%. That's a swing of 24% that they have to overcome if they really wish to, do some serious electoral damage to the BJP. So when I look at the numbers and mood of the nation number, when they come on the all India basis, the gap doesn't look big, Barkha, in terms of vote share. But the fact is, each and every state, Barkha, that we look at, this way or that way, the gap is huge. Where BJP is leading, it is leading by a huge gap. Where the opposition is leading, they are leading by a huge gap. Barring the two battleground states as we see it now, that is Maharashtra and West Bengal. And West Bengal is going to be mother of all battles. I have said this very clearly. That we are going to see in coming times.
I'll come to Bengal a little later in our conversation. Briefly, Yashwant, before I go back to Shehzaad and Salman, the other interesting thing in your projections is you project a slight increase for the Congress, though this survey was done when in December, I think. So we don't know
December
how
and January, but before the Pran Pratishtha.
That's right. It was before Ram Mandir. That's a very, very important point to make. And after Ram Mandir, you could see very different polling. But the question I was asking is, the BJP's projections remain more or less the same in your survey. But once again, a survey done before Ayodhya. We'll wait for the numbers after Ayodhya, which means the Congress's minor gain or slender gain is at the expense of other opposition parties.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the funny part of it. When you look into the Congress vote share and others vote share, Barkha, you also realize that the probable growth of the Congress has, or proceed Congress vote share going down, is kind of inversely proportional with the other India Alliance members. That's the basic contradiction in the India Alliance. This is why the India Alliance party members are not really that enthusiastic to let Congress grow at their expense. That's a basic contradiction. Why the BJP is concerned, BJP also did the same thing. But I think between 14 and 19, they did it. They just ate up their alliance partners' vote shares. They were done and dusted. By 2019 happened, BJP was undoubtedly done and dusted with the alliance, the contradictory alliance partnership was thought so. And they are sitting pretty with the 44% as their base vote share of their party. That's a big difference. The alliance... The vote share of the India Alliance is less than the individual vote share of BJP, the party. Are you getting the difference? So that's the kind of gap that they have to cover, and that's a very difficult task. I will never say use the word impossible, Barkha. Never use impossible, but improbable at this point of time, yes.
Okay, let me bring in Shehzaad. Shehzaad, you had an interesting acronym when you spoke about it's a Ram Leela and Gita moment. What is the central, driving force you believe of the 2024 campaign? What do you think is the driving force, Shehzaad? Is it a Hindutva election? Is it a nationalism election? Is it an election about Prime Minister Modi? What is it?
Since you love my acronyms, I'm going to give you one more. It's MKG, Modi Ki Guarantee. What is Modi Ki Guarantee? Modi ki guarantee is, of course, what he's delivered in the last 10 years. That 10th say, fragile 5 say, we will become fastest 5 economy. That we will give 3.5 crore people awas. That we will give 12 crore people toilets. That we will give 12 crore people tap water connections. That we will ensure per capita income is double. That middle class income is quadruple. That infrastructure grows at double rate. That the 70 new airports built by Jyotiradityya Scindia. We will do all of this. But Modi ki guarantee also means, Barkha, issue that you are passionate about. That the women and our sisters of Jammu Kashmir should get their rights by the removal of Article 370, which did not take place for 70 years. That, yes, we have said that even when we had 2 seats, Ram Lalla hum aayenge, mandir wahi banayenge, and that has been materialized under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, although it was a Supreme Court judgment, and we definitely agree with the Supreme Court judgment. And there were so many challenges. Kapil Sibal, who was in Congress, tried to latkao bhatkao utkao the case, पर राम मंदिर बनाया. ये बोलते थे कि मंदिर बनाओगे, तारीख नहीं बताओगे, तारीख भी बताई, न्योता भी आपको ट्रस्ट ने दिया, पर आपने अपनी राम विरोधी मानसिकता नहीं छोड़ी. हमने कहा था कि हम 3 तलाक जैसे कुप्रथा को हटाएंगे. हिंदू पर्सनल लॉ तो रिफॉर्म हो गया था, यूसीसी संविधान में बोला गया है। हम यूसीसी भी असम से लेकर उत्तराखंड हो, गुजरात हो, जहां हमें स्टेट ने मैंडेट दिया है वहां पर हमने यूसीसी की शुरुआत कर दी है और हम यूसीसी भी नेशनल लेवल पर लाने के लिए लॉ कमीशन की चर्चा चल रही है। परंतु सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा 3 तलाक का कानून हटना, 3 तलाक हटना चाहिए, 3 तलाक का कानून आना चाहिए। वी हैव गॉन फॉर दैट एंड दैट इज हैपनिंग। एंड last 30 years, Barkha, one more issue close to your heart. The women of this country who have been getting the benefit right from birth to becoming a grihini, she should be in our parliament and make laws for us. And that has been ensured by Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam in the new parliament, which they had conceptualized. You remember Meera Kumar wanted new parliament for all our parliamentarians. इनके भी वादे हमने पूरे किए। तो ये है मोदी की गारंटी।
आपने MKG is another nice acronym along with Ram Lalla and Geeta. Those are interesting, the acronym political.
Even Salman Bhai will say Geeta now. He's not opposed to Geeta.
I'm sure he's not, but I had a question before I go to Salman. You're right.
Yes.
The rights of women are very dear to me. And I'm sure to all women across India and across party affiliations, which is why what happened with Brij Bhushan Saran, which is why the remission for Bilkis Banu's rapists till they were marched back into jail by the Supreme Court is something that is troubling. The things you've mentioned, all points well taken. What about my 2 points?
Absolutely. Let me address them head on. Nobody from our party, from booth to Prime Minister, came out and defended Brij Bhushan. The case will go on. Whatever he has done, if he has done the wrong thing, he will get saza from the courts. Nobody will prevent. But you remember this man? What is this victory sign? You know, in the Mughal Kal, when Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb, this is modern day TMC ka Shah Jahan. Just like Aurangzeb of those days, when they used to have the tormenting of Hindu women, they used to show victory sign. This is the same Mughlai Mansikta. This Mughlai Mansikta of TMC, 55 days he was defended. The courts had to come down. The BJP leaders had to go on the street and the Patrakars had to raise their voice. They were arrested. And that's when she has shown this man is arrested. And look how is this arrest? And where is Priyanka Vadra? Priyanka Vadra speaks on Hathras, chalo, accepted. Priyanka Vadra speaks on many other issues, chalo, accepted. Why she has not opened her mouth on Sandesh Khali? Because the women are Hindu? Or because the perpetrator is Shah Jahan? Matlab Shah Jahan has become Badshah of vote bank politics that Congress will not even speak about him. We have taken in IIT BHU case, we have taken action. We have taken action against Braj Bhushan Singh also. Nobody comes out and defends them. But in their case, Vera Muthu is defended by them. Shah Jahan is defended by them. The person who was the serial offender in the IT cell of Congress, Chirag, he was defended by them. The tormentor of Ankita Datta, their youth Congress president, Srinivasan, defended by them. They removed Ankita Datta from the party. They will tell us about these issues. I think today, Sandesh Khali par, why is Priyanka Vadra silent? Just tell me this.
Let me ask that of Salman Soz. I have raised the points about Brij Bhushan, about the Bilkis Bano case in which the Supreme Court intervened. The Sheikh Shah Jahan case where Mamata Banerjee from the floor defends her colleague initially before then arresting and suspending him just hours before the Prime Minister is to reach Bengal. The point is that when it comes to women's rights, again, everything gets politicized. That's the unfortunate truth. I have an added question to you, Salman. Where is Rahul Gandhi going to contest from? The BJP is finalizing 100 to 155 candidates, if not today, by this weekend. Rahul Gandhi has been asked by our own ally in the India bloc, the left, to please leave Wayanad. He doesn't seem to be returning to Amethi. Now there's talk that he may go to Telangana. The BJP says there isn't a place for Rahul Gandhi to contest from. Please do respond.
Barkha, he'll respond. He will contest from wherever we want him to contest. So please relax. We will tell you when the time is right. Whenever the time is right, we will tell you, and maybe he contest from Varanasi. Who knows? We haven't decided yet. We will see.
I mean, now, he's not going to contest. He's not going to contest from Varanasi. I mean, that's you're just making a rhetorical point.
I'm just saying that why be impatient? When the time is right, you will know it like everybody else. Now, as far as
can I allow Shehzaad a 10-second intervention, and then I promise you the floor is yours, and then Yashwant. 10 seconds, Shehzaad? Yeah. Shehzaad?
So let's call Salman and me back on Barkha's great show with Yashwant as the testifier or the witness. If Rahul Gandhi has the guts, forget to contest from Varanasi, to contest from Uttar Pradesh. His mother has she's used health reason to go away from Raebareli, and we've seen the Rahul effect in the Uttar Pradesh elections, in the Rajya Sabha elections. I request you, Barkha, that you as our witness and Yashwant as our witness, please invite us on the day Rahul's ticket is announced. I request you.
Okay, done. We have a date. Okay.
I will
Salman, make
just
your
say,
point now.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I will just say this, just on women in general. The BJP has a very shameful record. We know that. I mean, the fact that their workers went and garlanded Bilkis Banu's rapists and killers, and you can put up the Shahjahan guy. I don't even know who this guy is. If he's a despicable person, if he's been arrested, who cares?
How can you not know who he is?
Now,
How can you not know who he is?
no, I mean, what I'm saying is that he's been arrested, right? I mean, it's not like BJP people going and garlanding. I think one thing we can say is that what Shehzaad likes putting these things up. He distracts the viewers. It's a tactic. It's not a good tactic, Shehzaad, by the way. When you're having a serious discussion, it looks childish. You look like a child, by the way, right? So Bilkis Banu's rapist garlanded, right? There's Dera Sacha Sauda guy. He's been paroled 7 times by the Haryana government in the last 1 year. 7 times. Because he gets them votes. Let's be honest. They don't care about women. If they cared about women, then they would not say, why do you not come out when it's a Hindu woman? Is the Hathras ki beti, was she not Hindu? Are Dalits not Hindu? Did Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi not go all out for that girl who was cremated without dignity? Okay. They should be ashamed. But anyway, let me tell you about something else entirely. You must be wondering why, what's the reason why I feel that these guys are not coming back? They talk about humne ye ki, humne toilets di, humne growth ko yahan pahunchaya, we're the fastest, we're the biggest economy, this thing and that thing. One thing, you need 2 things to keep in mind. One, per capita income growth, not overall growth, per capita income, per person growth. 58% during Mr. Modi's time, 58% in his first 9 years, because 10th year data is still coming out. Manmohan Singh, 180%. 180%, 3 times. Cannot compete. Forget that. Then the next part is the quality of growth. Is this growth, is it shared? Or are the fruits of your labor as a country, are they being cornered by certain sections? There's plenty of evidence in this country. If that was not happening, you would not have to give 80 crore people free food. That is what is happening in this country. That is what is going to happen to them in this election, mind you. And by the way, one more thing, Barkha, because you gave Shehzaad plenty of time. One more thing. If Prime Minister Narendra Modi is so incorruptible, if he's such an honest person, I challenge him to return all the money that they collected through illegal electoral bonds. We will too. I challenge him. Will he dish out those 6,500 crores? And by the way, one more thing. These are the people who stole an election in front of television cameras. They're going to employ all sorts of media in public institutions and everything to steal this election. But we will fight them. We'll fight them now. We'll fight them tomorrow. We'll fight them for years. We will fight them. We will not let them.
I have 3 minutes left on the program, so I'm going to go to Yashwant and then give Shehzaad the last word. And Yashwant, let's briefly talk about what the opposition is holding on to be the North-South divide. Your own survey does show that while the BJP does very handsomely in the north, in states like Bengal, is snapping at the heels of the Trinamool Congress. In the southern states outside of Karnataka, it continues to be an opposition bloc-dominated alliance. Now, my question to you is, the Prime Minister has a mission south. It's quite clear. He's just returned from Tamil Nadu with Annamalai by his side on stage. He's praised Jayalalitha from stage. There's something very interesting going on there. Just a quick thought on that, and then I'll give Shehzaad the closing word. Yashwant. Hang on, Yashwant. I need to unmute you. Can we unmute Yashwant? Go ahead, Yashwant.
One thing is for sure, Barkha, that the way the Prime Minister and his deputy, both of them, they operate is that they give equal, let's say, attention or their entire attention span, not just in terms of resources, but also in their own personal physical presence on the ground, even in the states where BJP is not really likely to do good. Sometimes it feels like जरूरत क्या है? But you see, it's also driving home a message, driving home a narrative. When the Prime Minister goes down hammering in Tamil Nadu all the way, we feel that it's messaging only for Tamil Nadu. No, but he's driving home a point somewhere in Bengal, somewhere in UP, somewhere in Bihar, and everywhere all along. So the thing is, this 24/7 campaign is a location. It's not location specific. It's something which is very well designed and very well thought of. It's the 24/7 political machinery and thought process. Now, very briefly, Barkha, इनसे लड़ने के लिए आपको वैसे ही 24 घंटे की 7 दिन की 365 दिनों की पॉलिटिक्स सोच में और फिजिकल प्रेजेंस में करनी पड़ेगी. छुट्टियां मना करके आप इनसे लड़ नहीं सकते. I'm sorry, I mean, no pun intended in that, but the problem is, there is an image of the Prime Minister that he is working hard, he's a hard working guy, works 24/7. ठीक है, अपनी पॉलिटिक्स करता होगा, बट उसकी मेहनत से कोई इनकार नहीं कर सकता. Then, unfortunately for Rahul Gandhi, his image by a large number of Indians at this point of time is seen as a person who is probably not fit for politics. Very nice, decent person, but probably not really fit for the politics of today. So that is something which he has to counter, and I think 3 months is too less a time right now to counter, overcome, and do this.
But at the same time, you do not believe the Prime Minister's sort of cadre-rousing target of 400 is realistic. I think you've called it improbable, not impossible.
Well, right, but one very funny stats in Prime Minister's call for Abki Baar 400 par. I was looking at my MOTA number or current strength of the parties in the parliament. Barkha, इस समय 300 है बीजेपी की और 30 है अलायंस पार्टनर्स की. और जब प्राइम मिनिस्टर कहते हैं कि अब की बार 400 पार, तो वो कहते हैं कि वो तो ठीक है लेकिन 370 भाजपा को. यानी अलायंस की हिस्सेदारी भी अभी भी 30 लोगों की है और उस समय पे भी 30 ही लोगों की है, with 370 and 400 and 300 and 330. So, yeah. But I think that's a very good call. Very good call to prepare your cadre so that they are not complacent. That's another thing, by the way, Barkha. We must keep in mind that 2004 happened because of the complacency of the BJP. And if at all we can see, these people at this point of time are everything but not complacent. That's what we look
at. That's a good point, Shehzaad. Let me give you the last words. 2 questions there. The 400 target, is it purely rhetorical? 2, the opposition does keep emphasizing the North-South divide. The Prime Minister is spending a lot of time in the southern states. Last word to you.
When we said कि 2 निशान, 2 प्रधान, 2 विधान नहीं चलेंगे और वो कश्मीर जहां बलिदान हुए मुखर्जी, वो कश्मीर पूरा का पूरा हमारा है, वर वी किडिंग? It was not Nara. This is not गरीबी हटाओ type Nara. It is our नीति. Similarly, when we said Ram Lalla हम आएंगे, मंदिर वही बनाएंगे, that time also many cynics, not Yashwant bhai, many cynics said नहीं हो पाएगा, कौन कैसे करेंगे ये लोग, हो ही नहीं सकता. जब हमने बोला 370 को लात मार के गिराएंगे, they said impossible. हम लोग जो है मतलब खून की नदियां बहेगी, कंधा देने वाला कोई नहीं होगा, सब उनके साथ है आजकल. तो they all thought these were naras. We made it a हकीकत, because मोदी जो है वो पूरा करने की गारंटी भी लेता है, केवल गारंटी नहीं देता. ये वो 1500 रुपए महिलाओं को देंगे हिमाचल में वाली गारंटी नहीं है, ये वो 300 यूनिट बिजली फ्री देने वाली गारंटी नहीं है. कांग्रेस की तो खुद की गारंटी एक्सपायर्ड है, अब कांग्रेस किसको गारंटी देगी? बट लेट मी मेक अ लार्जर पॉइंट. यशवंत जी मूलतः ते मराठी माणूस आहे माझ्यासारखी, तो यशवंत जी फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज इज नॉट हिंदी. यशवंत जी पीएम सेड अब की बार एनडीए 400 पार. आपने 400 पर क्यों रोका? 400 पार कैन बी 401, इट कैन बी 420, इट कैन बी 440. 440 का तो वोल्ट भी लगने वाला है, तो 440 होगा तो हमारे गठबंधन के साथियों को 70 मिलेगी, 70 में और अधिक हमें बल मिलेगा. तो आप 400 की कल्पना मिनिमम कीजिए, 400 के अधिक पार भी होगा. और आखिरी बात देखिए, एक चीज मैं आपको केवल कहना चाहता हूं. अभी सलमान जी बता रहे थे क्वालिटी ऑफ ग्रोथ. सलमान जी, Gini coefficient, I don't know these terms, you would know better. Gini coefficient during UPA 2004 to 14 was 0.47. It has today come down. So lower Gini coefficient means that we are doing better when it comes to haves and have-nots. Forget that issue. You said electoral bonds, falana, dhimkana. I am at least glad that they are saying today Supreme Court jinda
Can I,
hai,
can I, can I,
that
can I give
Supreme
Salman a
Court
10
is
second
alive and
before you
kicking.
close? Can I give Salman a 10 second, Shehzaad, before you close?
One
Salman?
last
Okay.
line, then Salman can take over.
Okay.
My only limited point is that I'm glad that Salman has now accepted that democracy is live and kicking, because Supreme Court is giving judgment after judgment on issues like this. So that is good for him. But one difference between Salman and my party, that in Salman's alliance, Sonia is working for Rahul, Dalu is working for Tejaswi, Stalin is working for Udaynidhi, somebody is working for somebody's son, the senior source is working for junior source. In my party, Modi is working for your and my children. And therefore, I am happy with Modi. Modi is working for our children. They are working for their own children.
Okay,
This is
Shehzaad,
the fundamental difference.
hold on 30
Yes,
seconds
there are many
more.
other people he'll quote,
Okay.
but Modi works for our children. He has no family, no children. He's
Okay,
working
Salman,
for
you're
us.
muted at your end. Don't think we have muted you. You're muted at your end. Please unmute
And
yourself.
no, Barkha, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get into all this, but I know Shehzaad works, for example, for Amit Shah's son. I mean, that's part of their politics
You'd be
too. So I
surprised.
don't
I
want to
don't
get
work
into
for
all that business. But I will just say this: Modi ki guarantee was doubling farmers' income. Look where the farmers are. Modi's guarantee was 2 crore jobs. Look what the employment situation in this country is. Modi's guarantees, we all know the big talk. The reality is something entirely different. And that is why all this talk of hum 400 par, 400 BC, vagara, maybe through 400 BC they can do it.
Okay.
But the fact is that they are going down. They're going down. Just wait.
We will
watch.
find out in less than 2 months from now. Shehzaad, very quickly, and I'm going to let Yashwant then come in with a closing thought. Yeah, Shehzaad, anything to say? You're going down,
all
down,
I'm saying
down.
is that, Barkha, I
Salman.
enjoy your discussion so much, but if you see the entire 50 minutes that we just discussed, you can say that 2 crore ke badle humne 1 crore 95 lakh jobs de di. But has Salman in one statement also said, we will do this or we have done this as a model in one state? I have shown model after model. Ram Lalla, Geeta, promises fulfilled. Hamare Jansangh ke din ke promises fulfilled. What we have done for economy, humko aage kya karna hai? This is positivity, persistence, performance, pro-incumbency, and this is the public ka sentiment, and that's why people are with us. They are only negativity ke nawabs.
Negativity ke nawabs. I remember Yashwant, Venkaiah Naidu used to be the king of acronyms. I think Shehzaad is going to replace him in that.
Don't put me in that league.
In that role. No, I remember, like, as a young reporter, marveling at Venkaiah ji's acronyms. Yashwant, just a quick, is there an X factor we haven't looked at? Just very quickly. There's always an X factor, and it could go either way. Just a very quick last word.
Well, one X factor, which is not, I think women's participation is going to be the key. And the way the things are going on, we have actually talked about it multiple times. But what pains me on one thing across the political thing, that on the atrocities against women, I still see partisanship, atrocities by my men versus your men, against my women, against or versus your women. I would love to see a day when somebody like Smriti Irani goes all out against somebody like Bhushan Saran Singh, and somebody like Priyanka Gandhi goes all out against Shah Jahan. In that way. I would love to see a day where women across the party line, they just fight it out on the issues of women's security and safety. Yeah. That is something which I feel. All politics, everything is fine. But it pains to me that a guy who is arrested and making a V sign, V sign on what, Barkha? It's appalling. So that is a kind of sensitivity they are toying, and they are kind of testing the patience of female in this country across the political lines.
I think that's a great point.
Around this issue, they are just testing the patience of 50% electorate of this country.
I think that's a great point, that beyond party positioning on women's rights. So just talking about acronyms, the Prime Minister moments ago in Jharkhand has one for the JMM. Jam karke khao, he says, has become the party. So it's going to be an acronym fest. We have a date for Shehzaad, Salman and Yashwant to be back soon, once we know where Rahul Gandhi is contesting from. So mark your dates in the calendar. Thank you. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. Shehzaad, Yashwant and Salman. Take care. Lovely to have had a convivial, pleasant conversation across political opinion and ideological divides. Long may we have more such conversations in our democracy. Thank you and take care.
Thank you.
Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.